Hello, hello. Welcome to another weekly review. We have another makeup review this week, another 5 items we're going to be looking at this week. Whoop. I'm really happy to be able to bring you guys about 5 items every week, but without further ado, as always, I like to start from my least liked product to my most liked product, so let's begin. Right, this week's least liked item for me was the Botanical palette by Raine. This one honestly came as a surprise out of the kind of duo bundle from Raine, because this one came together with the Rose palette, which looks similar but has lighter packaging. I thought I would have liked this one the most because it has darker shades in it. So it's the same kind of packaging, just in different colors, same kind of put together, and it's a sliding carton. Looks exactly the same as it does on the outside inside. And as you can see here, we have a mirror, so there is a mirror in here, just like the one from last week. And this is the color story. I really thought I was going to enjoy this color story more than the color story from last week. Last week's color story was very light, and I was kind of meh about it. This color story, I feel like, just did not work for me at all. The shimmers for me were way too light. You have this in here, which it kind of doesn't really do much for me, but these two shades just became so muddled. Putting these two shades together, it's like neither of them were really the star of the show. It was just not very good. This was way too light. I think this was too crumbly. Just overall, I was just not feeling the palette at all. If you've seen one of these weekly reviews before, you know I'm not going to try and swatch the entire palette, but I will do certain shades just to kind of show the color. So this, to me, it feels too light. I'm sure the swatch on my hand is going to look a lot better than it did on my eye. See, on my hand it looks quite pretty. It has kind of like a gold sheen. But this was so transparent feeling on my eye. The shades in here just felt really lackluster. The mattes didn't really blend out the best. I don't know, it just became very muddled. It didn't last as long as I felt maybe it should have. It's a pass for me. I don't think I can really recommend this palette. I think that if you're kind of stuck in between this palette and the Rose palette, I would recommend you picking up the Rose palette before telling you to try out this Botanical palette by Raine. It's a pass for me. It's a no-go. I didn't really enjoy using this palette. Just as a reminder, I did spend less than $6 on this palette. I also used code FUMI, F-U-M-I, to purchase this palette, and so I was able to get this palette for less than $6. I don't think this is a palette that you should be spending a full amount on. If you absolutely have to try this palette, get it on sale. Don't buy it at full price. 4th place, we have this Morphe 2 palette. This is the Ready for Anything 12 pan eyeshadow palette. I've been eyeing this palette for a really long time, but I could tell by the color story, which it does have it on the outside of the packaging. I was like, all of these shades look like what I would call mid-tone shades. So you have your light shades, your medium shades, and your dark shades. These, to me, feel all very medium shade or like light shade. I'm like, this isn't gonna do anything for me. This isn't gonna, well, I love the color story because I love yellows, oranges, and I love the purple in here. It's not gonna really do much personally for me. Like, it's not, we'll say, it's not my journey. Like, I just knew, as much as I wanted to try it, that these colors were not gonna work for me. So I've been holding off buying it, and then eventually I did, as you can see here, I did end up purchasing from TJ Maxx. I found it at TJ Maxx for $8. Even on the website right now, it's still on sale. Like, it is on sale, not retail price. The sale price right now is like $11 or $12 on the Morphe website. So I thought for $8, I'm like, I'll just, satisfy the cat. You know what I'm saying? Curiosity killed the cat, satisfaction brought it back. I'm like, I'll just try to get out of the way, get this bug out of me, be like, okay, I tried it, I didn't like it, I knew I wouldn't like it. But this is the outside. I really do like the packaging. It shows you exactly what the color story is inside, and it has all the names and the ingredients and all that stuff. It's, good, clean packaging. It's very much what I feel like is like Gen Z packaging. It's very clean girl aesthetic looking. But let's open this up. Which, by the way, it's such a hassle to try to open this up. I don't know what's wrong with this packaging. It's too tight. It's really hard to open. But I've gotten my palette out. Once again, I like this kind of very clean kind of feeling. It's just very, I don't know, almost like futuristic. Or maybe not. This is Ready for Anything 12 pan eyeshadow palette. You have the name of the shades on the bottom of the palette, as you can see there. And there's no mirror in here. It's just completely plastic, see-through I don't know, there's something about, I guess maybe because I'm a millennial, I'm like, this kind of reminds me of, there's like school day packaging, like a pencil box is kind of what it reminds me of. But these are the colors, and exactly like expected, everything in here is way too light for my liking. This is definitely a palette for someone who wants a wash of color. So it's, I don't think I have an issue necessarily with the formula, it's just the color story. These two on the eye look almost exactly the same. You have these three shades right here, where on the eye it pretty much looks exactly the same. You have these three orange shades in here, these three orange shimmers, which by the way aren't really shimmers as much as they are like satins. These three shimmers right here almost look exactly the same. This is more of a satin, so it's very light, and it's in the same middle range as this. So you could put this on the bottom and this on top and it'll pretty much look exactly the same because they're within that same kind of color level of light and dark. These are way too light peachy colors. Like, it's just, this color story is just not the best. I think this color story is definitely giving Generation Z, like, I just want to put one wash of color on my eye and be out the door. And if you're that person, then I think this palette is for you. I will say the yellows in here are yellow approved. I'm always on a quest for yellow. I love palettes with yellow. Yellow is my favorite color. So in terms of reviewing the yellows are the best part of this product here. I can't keep a whole palette though just because of the yellows, but I will say the yellows in here lasted the longest. They looked the nicest and they applied the best. The yellows in here, absolutely. I love the yellow. The yellow is beautiful. I love the yellow in here. So pretty. I really like this yellow color. Obviously there's not much else you can do with these yellows necessarily. You can kind of probably add some orange to it, which also swatch this yellow here. And again, it's not necessarily because of the formula, it's just too almost monotone for my liking. Also just swatch this purple here just so you can see how, I guess, light it is. Like, it's a nice shimmery wash. All these colors kind of remind me as if they were like watercolors, because it's just very light. It's very light. It's just for a wash of color, and I definitely know young ladies in my life who would absolutely adore this palette, because they really are just a, let me pick some shimmer up, put it on my eye, put on mascara, and get out the door. Like, that's it. They don't do anything else. So I think this is a good starter kind of teenage palette. It is, I would say, very youthful feeling. But yeah, there's almost too many repetitive colors. It's more of a wash of color. It's just, it is what it is. I gotta pass this one along. The only reason I place this one higher than the Botanical palette is because of the yellows in here. The yellows in here, like I said, they do it for me. If the color story were better, I would definitely would have held on to this, but for $8, I'm happy to have tried it and finally just gotten that bug out of my pants so I don't feel like I need to keep thinking about this palette. In third place, we have a Juvia's Place palette. This is the Bronzed Rustic palette. I believe I got this palette on sale. I did get this palette on sale. It was for $5. I got this palette on sale for $5. It must have been during, I believe, maybe Black Friday last year is when I got this palette. I wanted to try it. 6 shades. It's kind of the, I don't know, I feel like it's a very famous way that Juvia's Place has put these kind of palettes together. The 6 big pans is what we're looking at. So if you pull this out, it looks exactly as it does in the inside, is how it looks on the outside. I believe it has the same information, so you could throw away the box if you wanted to. There's no mirror in here, so you don't have to worry about a mirror. My belief is that it keeps the costs down, and I personally don't always need a mirror in my palettes. But this is the color story, and for me, this palette's number 3 because it's kind of in the middle. So I did my looks just straight across, and I ended up actually wearing this. I had jury duty. I ended up wearing this bottom row look to my jury duty day, and I just needed something neutral, which was nice for neutral. But these 2 shades, you would think they would kind of blend together properly. Like, how to explain this? I used these 2 shades, and they became very muddled. It looked like one shade. It wasn't like a, you know how you would do an outer corner look and do like lightest to darkest? It just became so muddled. And then this shimmer here just wasn't very impressive. I wasn't very impressed by this shade. It just all kind of looked like a one-tone look with a little bit of sparkle, but it just didn't do anything for me. And then this top look I actually liked a lot more. This top look up here, of course, this is more, it's like a yellow orange versus an actual true like yellow, but it is a very pretty color still. I really liked this shade. This shade is so pretty, and I think if I had liked the bottom row a lot more, I might be keeping it. But I mean, the pigment's definitely there. It's very pretty. I liked that look. It was giving more of a, almost like a sunset kind of deal. It is definitely bronzed. There's the bronze, and it is quite flaky. You can definitely see the flakes, I think, on my arm. But the top look definitely is so much nicer than that bottom look. Oh man, I gotta give it away. I gotta give it away. I'm reconsidering now that I'm looking at it again. I'm just watching it all over. But I love the top row. The bottom row just doesn't do it for me, and that just makes me think I shouldn't keep a palette because I only like half the palette. You know what I mean? Oh man, now I'm reconsidering. Just because I swatched this kind of yellowy color again. But no. I gotta let it go. I have to remember that. I don't think I'm gonna remember this palette enough to pull it out of my collection and be like, no, wait, I have the perfect palette for this moment. I just don't see myself doing that, so I have to pass this palette on. Do I recommend it? I think if this is a palette that calls to you, I think you should check it out and see how it works on your skin tone. The bottom row doesn't do it for me. The top row does. Maybe it will completely work for you, but this is my number 3 for the week. Alright, so my number 2 for the week is this Nightmare on Elm Street. This is the lipstick duo from Glamlite. I don't think this necessarily has a name. I think it's just the Nightmare on Elm Street duo lipstick. So I think this came out just last year during the fall. They were having a lot of things come out last fall, but I only got this recently. I got this, I don't think I even was able to get this on sale. We'll have to recheck that, but this I see on my receipt cost me $20, which would be $10 per lipstick. I like the packaging. If you're a Nightmare on Elm Street fan, this is so amazing. There's honestly not much to say about this. I absolutely recommend this. And I would say do recommend this at retail price, because I don't even think I got this on sale. I think I had to buy this full price, and it was getting to the point where I believe I purchased this back in March, and I don't know if it was ever going to go on sale, and I was like, I'd rather buy this at full price than miss out on this chance, because I've been thinking about these lipsticks. Every time I go on this website, I was looking at these lipstick shades, and I am very happy I did purchase these. To be honest, it is quite hard to muck up a lipstick, honestly, which is probably why people were so mad at Jaclyn Hill, but it is, I feel like a bullet lipstick, usually, regardless of the brand, is quite good. And same with these. These are comfortable. They apply very well. There's pigment. This is a good lipstick. It's a good lipstick, and it has these wonderful, if you're a collector, it has these great, like the artwork on it is just so nice. The feeling of it is a little kind of giving a little plasticky, maybe a little cheap, but the product inside is good. There's nothing on the bottom of this that gives you the name of it. You would have to just remember the difference between the two. So I think this one is the red, and this one is this, what I thought was a brown, but it's actually a lot more pink. So I will swatch these for y'all because it's just 2 lipsticks. And it has these beautiful markings on it. This one's got spiders on it. So cute. And this is the red. It is a very deep burgundy red. Swatch here. Nice and deep. A nice and deep shade. Very pretty. I'm sorry if I'm not doing a very good swatch. I just don't want to apply too much pressure and break the lipstick. But that is, I have light medium skin is what I would say. So this is what the lipstick color looks on my light medium skin. It is a very deep maroony color. And then we have this one, which I thought, it doesn't have any artwork on it other than it says right there, A Nightmare on Elm Street. I thought this was a brown. I thought this was just a light brown, but then after trying it on, I see that is not just a light brown. It is actually more of a pink, kind of mauve, purple mauve kind of shade. And it's very pretty. I honestly would prefer this color a lot more than the other one. I'm really surprised. I thought this was a brown. It's not a brown. It reminds me of Necromancy Cosmetica has this shade called like Morning Rose. And this is what I imagine this shade kind of looks like. I haven't bought it yet because it seems like they're out of the, they have reusable lipsticks. So you have to buy the case and then you have to buy the bullet lipstick separately, or you have to buy it in a bundle. So you don't, so they sell the component and the actual lipstick inside separately for Necromancy Cosmetica. So I haven't been able to buy the new versions yet that they've come out with, but these are really pretty. Like I said, they're comfortable. The packaging is great. If you've already picked them up, let me know how y'all feel about it, but I like these lipsticks. So far, the lipsticks from Glamlite have never, you know, let me down. I like how easy the packaging is, where you can just pull on this to get the lipstick out. You don't have to, you know, open this top or anything. You just hold on to it and pull it out. I think that's really fun. It's really simple. This is my number 2. I like this product. I'm really glad I was able to purchase it. This is my top product for the week. I bought this back in December for $10.80. And this is the Nightmare on Elm Street Chest of Souls Blush Trio. So I guess they do have names. I wonder if the other one... I'm sorry, I might be backtracking, y'all. Let's go back to that lipstick duo and see if it has a name. So earlier I was talking about the lipstick duo. It's called A Nightmare on Elm Street Freddy Krueger Lipstick Duo. So that's the name of the duo from earlier. And again, just to reiterate, this little palette right here is a blush palette, and this palette is called the Chest of Souls Blush Trio. I got this trio for $10.80. I was able to get it on sale for. This is a see-through packaging, so what you're seeing here is the actual palette itself. I think that's pretty cool. I like this kind of clear packaging. Got the information in the back. It has the whole spiel, and then this. Yes, we have ingredients. We're looking at ingredients here. So we have ingredients there. And let's open this up. So this is in my top place, I think, because I was more surprised by this. And I think the same information on the back as you do in the cardboard. You have that same info. It's super travel friendly. I like that it's made out of paper. It just makes it very simple. I like the squeaky, you know, the little change there. I think that's pretty cool. There is a mirror in there, so there is a mirror available. I'm kind of surprised that a blush palette would have a mirror in it, but there is one in there. And then here are the shades. These work just as well as you think they're going to work. They weren't patchy, were weird, were dried out or anything. There's some artwork inside, so you have Freddy's hand, you have Freddy, and then you have scratches. I love the little things in there. They all absolutely will show up on your skin. I think these are all really great universal these are all very good universal blushes. So I think these will show up on the darkest person or the lightest person. I think they're just so great. I was surprised by this pink and how it was able to show up on my skin. I think it was so pretty. Oh, where do I put it? They worked so great. I had so much fun. And even the lightest shade in here, I don't know if I want to swatch the other two, because they're just as intense as you think they should be. These are quite intense. You don't need much product to get these to show. So I honestly feel like there's not much to say about this. I just absolutely loved it. I like the packaging. I like the shade range in here. I liked the product. There really isn't much to swatch because I think these will work exactly as you think these will work. Of course, these two are a lot more intense. These are reds. But I think if you apply just a little bit, you don't need a lot. This is going to be a product that really lasts. And I think it's a good product to have as part of a collection, because these shades are probably something you might reach for too often, but if you're a Nightmare on Elm Street lover and collector, I think this is going to be a great addition. I really liked it and I enjoyed using it this week. There's not much else to say about this other than that I absolutely recommend it. Thank you so much for watching this week's weekly review. Let me know what you think about the products down below, which products were your favorite, which ones do you, I don't know, maybe you disagree with. You're like, you know what, I love those colors. I'm actually going to buy it. Thank you so much for joining me this week. You'll have a great week.